mothers will always be there for their kids, and they're doing a great job. But we need fathers. And it happened in 2014 again when this boy was sentenced to 232 years in prison, which is he saw his father killing his mom and his younger sister. It's normal to us. We are used to that women are being abused by men. It's like a tradition.
Hi, and welcome to Scent Studios production, sponsored by Scent Studios.
Good day, viewers. Hope you are well. My name is Ziyanda, and welcome to the segment of this podcast, which is intentional parenting. In these conversations, we have conversation on how to become better parents. We share wisdom, and to our viewers who would need help, this is the platform where we teach, we help, we impart wisdom. So I have a guest today who is going to share on the perspective of manhood and part of parenting and the impact it has on manhood. Sir, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation.
Can you introduce yourself? What's your name? What you do?
My name is Thapelo Seleke, and I run an organization called Men Up Kings. The focus is on a boy child and also on growing men and mentorship for men. But then at the same time, we empower women. So what we do is we raise men so that they can be the men of integrity. We instill some principles, especially biblical principles, and try to do away with the saying, men are trash and men are dogs. Men are not dogs and we are not trash. We just drifted away from the purpose that God has called us to do on earth. And also to make sure that we speak to the community, so that we can grow a man of integrity. So you can imagine if a boy child start to hear those words, men are trash and men are dogs, and see exactly what is happening on social media, those things can actually shape that boy to be, what we are labeling them to be. So the organization is actually shaping the men to be the men of integrity, men who respect women, and also we help women who have been through a lot, who are victimized by men, and offer support to them. So that's what the organization is doing.
Okay. So you said you define what is manhood. Just define for me in society. What do you think is manhood? We obviously have a societal definition to it, what a man should be. You hear codes such as indoda must. Society tells us how men should be. Social media tells us what men should be. But you, because you're a specialist in this area, can you define what is manhood?
So manhood is a process of transformation and change that takes place in the course of life. Because you can be 80 years of age and still be a boy. So if there's no transformation and change in your life, then you don't qualify to be a man. And what society defines men, or the qualities or the things that society is actually using, or those tools that the society is using to define men, they're not actually what actually defines men. Those are just what attributes. And I think I wrote in my book that what do you think, what comes in your mind when you think manhood? We're thinking tall, dark, handsome, broad shoulders, fast cars, cash, and those are just outward attributes. What if I'm tall and toxic? What if I'm tall and dark and handsome but not matured? And the reason why manhood is the process of change and transformation is that remember that we do have the problem of absent fathers in our country. So men were not mentored by men. So if you did not have that father figure, it will mean that you still have a long way to go in order for you to become a man. So just to answer your question, manhood is the transformation, is the process of transformation and change that takes place in the course of life. And we need to see that in your actions.
Wow. So can you tell us about your book? You wrote a book and you said the reality of manhood. So the inspiration behind writing this book, what were you hoping to impart to the young person or to men specifically? Who did you have in mind?
Well, this book it's educational, and what inspired this book is the challenges that we are facing in the society. At the age of 16 years, I had to ask my dad to leave the house because we found out that my dad was married elsewhere,
Wow.
and he did not tell my mom. Um, At the age of 16, I decided to ask him to leave, and with the help of my grandfather, they had a meeting, and then I remember for the first time I had a meeting with him, with my mom, and I asked him, I was interrogating him, but I was standing on the door, it was open so that if he decide to discipline me, then I can just run. But, and the reason why I did that is because he he was a cool guy, but I would wake up in the middle of night finding my mom crying, which means that she was emotionally abused and financially abused. So, and then when he left the house, the absent of the father, or yeah, the fact that a man is absent in your life, it creates anger. And there are so many boys and so many young men and men who are still struggling with that anger. And I had to deal with that anger before I decided to write a book. And the reason, the inspiration behind is that I had to forgive my father first, and I had to look back in my life and deep in my life and say, if I can go through all those things, how many Thapelos are there in the world who did not actually get the chance to deal with such issues? So I need to put it down and write it, and write about it so that I can be able to help and educate other men on how to deal with their issues and really define what is manhood and help them to find their own identity. So the inspiration behind this book was what I went through, the research that I did, and what we are actually experiencing in the world as men, so that we can be able to heal and also raise the man of integrity.
So while I was doing research for this conversation, before we get to the work that you do at Men Up, I just want to know, what do you think is the cause of fatherlessness in society? Because it says 40% of black men are absent and only 3.5% fathers are living with their children. So where does it stem from, the issue of fatherlessness? Is it is it generational, particularly in the black community?
It's very disturbing that even up until today, we're still dealing with the very same thing that we dealt with, 50 years ago, 100 years ago. Like I said, manhood is the process of transformation and change. So if we're still dealing with something that we dealt with or we used to experience 50 years ago, then it means there's no transformation. If there's no transformation, then we do have a lot of boys, around us. Hence, you see 98% of the problems that we face in the world are caused by men. So then it means that we're not dealing with men right now, we're dealing with boys. So some people are still following some traditions. Some people are just going with the flow. Some people are just, they don't have their identity. They don't know what they want in life. You're doing something because someone did it. But there is somewhere where I wrote in the book, because as I was doing the research with regards to fatherlessness and absent fathers, I said, can we please stop producing physical babies and start producing brain babies? because I think we do have more than enough kids.
Yes.
So let's produce brain babies, so that they can take those inventions, those ideas, and run with them and build for them. So um, other people are just being naughty. Other people are being irresponsible, knowing that you can't afford a child, but you don't even protect yourself. Um, why then, being involved in a sexual intercourse without even using protection if you know that you can't afford a child? So other people are just being irresponsible. They are not being accountable, and they and it's not like there are no teachings. Information is freely displayed inside books. There's internet. The information is free. You see, so people are just being irresponsible for their actions. So I think we cannot be blaming the past in this day and age. People just need to wise up. People are not being wise. People are just are doing things. They are just living for today, but they don't really put responsibilities in their actions. So I think people are just being irresponsible, and they don't use wisdom when they turn into those actions.
Wow. I want us to speak about what you just said, planned parenthood. This week my FYP is full of parenting videos because of these conversations. But I noticed a trend, particularly on Facebook, that there's a lot of victim blaming when it comes to men. As you said, the issue that we are facing did not start now. It is an issue of over 50 years ago when fathers used to go and make money, go to the mines and work. Whereas the modern day father, they are content creators, they are IT specialists, they can go and come back. They are not, it's not like 50 years ago. So why do you think there's still that dynamic of victim blaming the apartheid government that no, it's because black people were poor or black people were it was a difficulty of being in the homeland, the wife is at home, but things have changed. There's democracy and we can plan our lives. We are content creator parents. We can plan parenthood, we can plan our careers. Why do you think there's still that dynamic of victim blaming?
It's just people who does not want to be accountable for their actions. And I'll tell you now, if I mean, there are so many people are even working from home. So you are present. If you staying with someone, or you can be present anytime you want to. You know, these days people do what they want with their own time. People have a lot of time in their own hands. So, like I said, it's just people who does not want to take the responsibility. If I'm selling you a house today, and then I leave it without, tilling the garden. After 6 months, when I come and the house is actually full of weeds and stuff, you cannot be blaming me. It's your responsibility now. The house is in your hands. You understand? So we cannot be making these excuses that our fathers went to the mines. Yes, they went to the mines, but you are not your father. The apartheid was there 30, 32 years ago. I mean, we actually we received independence more than 32 years ago. So we cannot be blaming apartheid. We cannot be blaming white people. We cannot be blaming the situations. But we as men, we need to man up. That's why the name of the organization is Men Up Kings. We need to man up as men, and we're teaching them to man up. And most of the time when I speak about these things, it's as if I am castigating men. But if you do not have a strong voice to tell them, listen, what you are doing, it's uncalled for, who is going to show them that now they need to man up? So it's just one of those things that the responsibility is not there. You want to play a blame game. And I wrote about the 3 rudiments of manhood in my book, which is accountability, change, and acceptance. So you need to be accountable for your actions. You need to accept the change, because it's very difficult for men to accept change. And also you need to accept all your accountabilities and the changes that are happening now. So the reason why we cannot, or men still blame the past, is because they don't accept the change. That no, we no longer working at the mines. We are not working at the mines. You are here at home, and you are working from home, and you are able to be present 100% to your child.
Wow. So why is planned parenting such an eggshell conversation in the Black society? Because it's always like, especially around women, especially the pressures on Black women. Like, if you reach a certain age and you don't have kids, or you don't have a second born, it's like, what are you doing? And the issues that we are facing now is a reflection of the fact that we do not plan most of our decisions. Yes. So why do you think the issue of planned parenting is such an eggshell thing? We don't want to speak about it. Or if we say, my firstborn was a mistake, it seems like it's a bad thing. Why do you think that is so?
I think, again, the society is so powerful. The society is so powerful. The society can make you feel like a failure. The society can make you feel like, the way you're living your life it's not how it's supposed to be. The society, yeah, it's very powerful, and planned parenting is very important. If you decide that you are not going to have kids up until you reach a certain age, it's okay.
That's true.
But what does the society say? The society, when they see you, hey, when are you having kids? Hey, when are you getting married? Hey, when are you doing this? After you get married, they want kids.
Exactly.
After the firstborn, they asking you, when are you having your secondborn? It's been a while. Your child is 6 years. Yes, I want him to be 12 years before I have the second child.
That's true.
This is my life, and it's I think also we feel entitled. We are the society that feel entitled, that wants to direct people on how to do and what to do. And and I can assure you now, most of the people, after they have one child, they would say, no, that's enough, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because we are also looking at the cost implications of raising a child. There are so many things. Right now you be working at stressful environments. So I think that society needs to understand that planned parenting, it's extremely important. And if there's someone who is doing a planned parenting, it's a way to go. And also it gives you the leverage to be responsible for your actions. You see, because you will be responsible for your actions, knowing that this is my timeline and this is what I want to do. And you don't just do things because it's just the pleasures. You guys are having pleasure, but you know that as soon as you engage into this activity, then this might be the result of your activity. So it is very important, but it's just that the society, it's not pliable into getting into planned parenting.
Do you think we are a highly sexually immoral society? Looking at the outcome and the issues we are facing, the societal issues we are facing as young parents, do you think there's a lack of sexual education?
I think no. I think sexual education is there. It's just that people don't, they just want to do what they want to do. We sometimes we don't respect the rules. How many times have you heard or have you seen cars colliding, but there are traffic lights?
That's true.
and traffic lights are working. There's a stop sign, you jump the stop sign. So sex education has been there, it's still there. And also as a person, if you do have principles, you should be able to know that if you have a plan for your life, you know, it shouldn't be we are looking at how is sex education, because if we are going to look at some things and say is sex education enough, then it means that then while let's just say sex education is not enough, so does that mean you need to do the wrong things? So the fact that it's not enough, it's there,
Yes.
right? So the decision is yours. But I hardly believe that sex education is enough. It's just that we do things that we want to do. We don't want to follow rules. We don't, we don't respect precepts. So that's why we have these problems in the world. And I think also it's because we have a very beautiful constitution in our country that is not monitored. We have rules that are not monitored. When you go to other countries, their constitution, it's been monitored. They will make sure that you do what you are supposed to do or what really they have taught you to do. But our constitution also plays a role in these things, because at some point they do allow such actions from the tender age.
Wow. Okay. Do you think that South African men are suffering from toxic masculinity and patriarchy because of the high femicide rates and the gender-based violence that is happening at the moment?
L- 2 days back, I normally host TikTok live at 8. So this lady came onto the platform because this week we are discussing gender-based violence. And she said, in my area, and she mentioned her ethnicity. She said, what are you talking about here? It's normal to us. We are used to that women are being abused by men. It's like a tradition. It's and that's the problem. And because other traditions allow men and give men the power to do that, so I think there are many layers into this. We're talking about traditions. And secondly, childhood traumas play a role, without blaming the past, but childhood traumas plays a role. And I will give you some examples. And also, I think men needs to understand that they do not have dominion over women. Even God did not say, men, you must have a dominion over women. It's not there. So I think we don't know also how to use that masculinity, the ego, and so forth. So we want to victimize the weaker vessel, who is the woman, But if we look at what the society is going through at the moment, I was just called by one woman in Polokwane saying that, can you please come and assist? Because her nephew witnessed the mom's boyfriend killing her mom, his mom. So, and it happened in 2014 again, when this boy was sentenced to 232 years in prison, which is he saw his father killing his mom and his younger sister. And this boy was only 5 years. So now they have already planted a seed in his mind. And he thought that that's how women needs to be treated. And he continued to do it. And he victimized women. So, it's those kind of things that influence men to be the way they are. And it's just unfortunate that most of them, or even a lot of them, they don't get counseling. They don't get to be attended to. And it's a repetition, it's a cycle that needs to be broken. But it does not, because those kids, they don't get assistance and they continue with the cycle. However, there are those that they did not have those experiences, childhood experiences. They don't deal with childhood traumas. But because of the observation and the community, they think that's how they need to act towards women. And you can just imagine that lady saying that, in my culture, we think that abuse is the right, it's a man's right. That's how we were taught, but it's actually abuse. So I think there are many layers into men, in the society, who are doing these wrong things, and it needs to be looked at, with those eyes, and tackle them differently, with addressing particular issues in the society.
Oh. So my issue is with men who have been abused, growing up abused, and they repeat the same cycle instead of becoming better. Is it now a psychological issue, or it's intentional, or it's a lack of accountability, and a person running away from their issues? Because most men who have been in abusive childhoods, they somehow find themselves doing the same thing, repeating the cycle instead of becoming better.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a psychological issue, firstly. It's a psychological issue because in Setswana we say le ojwa le sa le metsi. And even the Bible says, train up a child in the way that he should take or should go when he grows up, and he will not depart from it. So when you teach a child when he is young, that's how he's going to become. If you plant a seed of violence, that's how he will actually become. That's why I mostly tell parents that whatever you do not have a heated conversation in front of your kids. So firstly, it's psychological. And then others, they just don't want to change. They do it deliberately. It has absolutely nothing to do with his psychology, or what happened or what he saw. Because we deal with things differently. And I'll give you an example. My dad had maybe close to 20 kids, with different women. Because with my mom, we are 4, and then she found my mom with my sister. And then where he was married, he had about 3 or 4. And then there was another lady that he had 2. And in another town, he had several. And we only found out when we attended his funeral. But when we okay, so after we asked him to leave the house, I kept him away from home, from my siblings, because I did not want them to think that having 2 houses is okay to have 2 houses. So I decided that I'm going to break the cycle, and it's not going to happen with us.
So he had his tembu, so
Yes,
he
something
wanted to
like
push
that.
something like his tembu.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. But we were not aware. We only found out years later when I was 16 years, and only when we went to his funeral we found out, no, it's not actually 3. It's not only 3 women that he had kids with. It's more than that. You see. So I decided I'm going to break this cycle. It's not going to happen with me. It's not going to happen with my younger brother. And some things is just a decision. That yes, I saw my parents fighting. I saw my dad fighting my mom. I'm going to do better. It's just a decision. Other people are just I don't know. They are just being naughty. Other people are just being irresponsible. They're just doing it deliberately to abuse women. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. You decide what shapes you. You decide what you want to watch, what you want to hear, people that you want to hang out with. So God gave us the willpower. So why don't you use the very same willpower to say, I'm going to be the man of integrity. I'm not going to do the wrong stuff. I'm not going to molest and victimize women. Why don't you do that? Hence, I said, our problem is that we are dealing with a lot of boys around who are walking around. There's no transformation, there's no change in their lives. So we're still dealing with boys and we're thinking that we're dealing with men. And we need to look at that and really make sure that these boys are really trained to be men.
So, what is the role of society in adding that a man truly becomes a man and not remain a boy? Because we do our part as parents, as a family, as parents, and as a household, but the bulk of it is up to what they find out there, which is the society. So, what is their role in making sure that men do not go astray and men are the men that they're supposed to be?
And it's simply to keep them accountable. Yeah, keep them accountable. If I'm your neighbor, and excuse me, I know that you are married to your husband, and your husband is getting involved with my sister or someone in the community. Why don't you keep him accountable and say, I mean, you are married? Because the society will clap hands for you. That I know, you are good. That we need to stop that. We need to stop that. It's a wrongdoing, but the society needs to keep men accountable. When you see a man physically abusing a woman or verbally abusing a woman, we need to stop that and keep them accountable. And also, the role of the society is that we tend to not want to do the right things, mainly because we do the wrong things as well. So we encourage the wrongdoing. So if you were to see people are fighting there, and you're just going to think, I know, and I'm talking about people that you know personally. You're going to think, I'm not going to be involved to get involved. But why can't you at least call the police? You see, so I think the role of the society is to keep people to be accountable to their actions and what they have vowed to. So let us not only be good in pressurizing people to do things, but also let's keep people accountable, and especially men, because we need men in the community. We need men to protect women. We don't need 16 days of activism. So then are we saying that for the rest of the 300 and something days, then we are saying that it's okay, you can abuse women in the community? We are only going to observe the 16 days in December out of the entire year, out of the 12-year year period. So I think the community needs to keep men accountable so that they can be able to, their actions should be able to solicit responsibility.
So, most of my guests here, I always ask them, do you think that the black man has more societal pressures than the other race group? Than if you see white men, Indian men, colored men, it seems like the black man has more societal pressure. I'll make an example. A 30-year-old who is an IT specialist, check out the colored one, check out the Indian one, check out the white one. So the black one always seems like they have more societal pressure. They have black tags. Do you think all these they contribute to the lack of, I don't know what the word I should use. Do you think they are the reason why most black men they are the way that they are? They abandon their responsibilities. Yes.
Not anymore. Yeah, not
Okay.
anymore, because, and I'll tell you now, I normally encouraging people that black people are doing so well,
That's
extremely
true.
well. We're doing extremely well, and I said um, if we were to say, let's take a white person and take a black person, and then we say, this white person, there's no inheritance, no estate or whatsoever. You don't you know, um, you don't have a flat at the age of 18. You don't have a car at the age of 18. We're starting together. Learnership, from varsity learnership, and you support your family as well. You take your siblings to school, you build a house at home, you buy yourself a car, you rent a flat for 7,000 rand. I do the same. And I said this, white people won't be able to do it because they are used to get everything on the silver platter at the age of 18 and going forth. Already when he is 6 months old, they do have retirement. Their parents, they pay their retirement annuity for them. They already have farms and so forth. So at the age of 18, they just inherit. And when you rent a flat, you realize that, but this person is my peers. Or he's even 2 years younger than me, and already has a paid or fully paid flat. And I said, if we were to say, let's start from the bottom, you support your parents, I support my. We are used to that already. So they are going to collapse. They won't be able to do it because they are not used to that. Now, the reason why I'm saying that not anymore, it's because black people now, they can afford. Black people, if someone can be able to swipe 70,000 at a nightclub on a Saturday, there is we cannot be compared with the pressure that, there's no pressure anymore. So not anymore.
But you do know that those people work at work.
Yes.
Most of them, they work at work.
Yes.
Do you understand the concept of working at work?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. No, you are right. You are right. And also, if you are a working class and you are able to pay installment of 20,000 for a car, then it means that if only you can get your priorities right, then you will be able to do it. But it's not about the pressure or the black text or whatsoever. You just need to get your priorities right so that you can be able to know what do you want in life and how do you help the family as also you survive yourself. But and we know that we really need to take responsibility, and we do have parents. So it's not about the pressures anymore, because we know better.
So you're saying there's a lack of priority amongst Africans?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Okay, so tell me about the work that you do at Men Up Kings. Like, what are the issues that you meet up mostly? Is it teenage pregnancy, gender-based violence? What are the major issues that you work with daily or monthly?
Every boy needs his father, and every man needs his father. And if we have, the boys that we receive, most of the time, 90% of them, they are being raised by single parents. And the problem with that is that mothers will always be there for their kids, and they're doing a great job. But we need fathers. We need fathers also because we need that strong voice. Because mothers are the nurturers. They are there to nurture you, to cuddle with you. But men are there, to make sure that you adhere to the rules of the house, to shape and train your physical ability. Because remember that men have ego. We have energy. You need to know how to channel that energy. And I mean, a mother is not able to use your physical energy to the max. And if you don't do that as a mother, then it becomes a problem. So the challenges that we face is that they are being raised by single parents, by mothers. I remember when I was young, and there was an organization called, a movement called Love Life that time. And Love Life would come to school, and then they will teach about stuff, they will teach about sex, and they gave us condoms. Now, excitements, we took condoms, went to my room, I put them in my cupboard. I was not even sexually active. My mom saw them, she got worried. My dad came sometime, and then she told my dad, that I brought condoms in the cupboard. Now, this guy is sitting on my bed, and she asking me, what are these? I said, they are condoms. Because I was not even using them. I did not even know what are you using these things for. And he said, why, what are you doing with them? I said, we got them from school. But the thing is, this guy has never reprimanded me before. When my mom was reprimanding me, he would take my side. I never heard him, I don't know his strong voice. And then as I was talking to him, I turned, I gave him my back, and he grabbed me with he grabbed my trouser, he grabbed my pants. And I felt this guy is so strong. But when he grabbed me, I felt love, I so wish that please slap me very hard. Because boys need tough love.
Yes.
And if you're not going to give a boy a tough love, he's going to give you a serious problem. And I so wish, I just, I felt the love, the warmth of love when he did that. Because that's what I needed as a boy. I needed someone to reprimand me. I needed someone to, I'm not talking about abuse here, but I needed someone to channel my energy. Because as your mom, if you are a mom and you're trying to talk to a boy, he's going to look at you and then think, this one is a weaker vessel, because that's how we were built, right? So that's one of the problems that we are facing. These kids are being raised by single parents. And secondly, this one is very heavy and it's painful. Okay, let me make an example what happened. I met this woman, and she said to me, listen, I have a teenager, and this boy is starting to behave somehow, I don't know, and he's someone who does not talk. And this lady was so stressed. She was so depressed in such a way that she did not even realize that she is neglecting the hygiene part of her life. I could even see her, and I started asking questions. I said, where's the father? The father is in Limpopo. Okay, tell me more about the father. Does he spend time with the father? And said, yeah, sometimes, the father comes and take him. But the father is in and out of hospital. And now, remember that we were built to take responsibilities. If you have a child and he's a boy, even if he's young, he would want to be a man and show you and do stuff. So this boy, he's taking everything that is happening in the house. The mom cannot afford. He can see the situation that is in the house. Sometimes they struggle. And the father is sick and he is scared. He does not know what's going to happen with the father. And remember, this person is only a child and he does not know how to handle these things. And he takes them, and he is also emotionally immature. But now he's taking everything in. So that's why I spoke to this lady. I said, he wants to disclose everything to you. Because as men, we want to appear strong to women. So it's very rare you find men being vulnerable to women, and disclose their challenges. So I said, that's what is happening with this boy. He won't disclose anything to you, but he's taking everything as if it's his responsibility. that's what happened with me. When my dad left, I had to be the dad to my siblings. I had to be the father to my mom and the husband to my mom as well. So it was just a lot. So it made me to neglect the childhood part of myself and be a child and be a teenager. As at the age of 20, I felt I was 41 already because of those responsibilities and the way I had to change my thinking patterns. So that is the second reason or the second challenge that we face with these kids, these boys who are coming from the houses that have been, from single parenting. So those are the challenges that we face, and these boys won't disclose stuff, and hence we do interview with them, and before we give them solutions, we make sure that we go to the root of the problem, so that we can be able to help them. But yeah, hence I'm saying every boy needs his father and every man needs his father.
So, do you think most of the parents that you come across, do you think some of them can be held accountable to why the father is not in the children's lives?
Definitely. Because if we're in a relationship and we end the relationship, you might say, I'll show him. And when you show him, you don't understand that we making a very big mistake. Um, most of other men that I spoke to, they were denied access to their children. They're fighting for custody. So they are the reasons. Some women are the reasons why the fathers are not there. And I totally understand, guys, that you are in a relationship with this person. He promised you to marry you, but then all of a sudden, maybe he cheated. Maybe he's no longer. He doesn't want you, or he was not even there during the pregnancy. Even when the child was, when you receive the child, he was not there. And then when the child has grown, he wants to be part of the child, which is wrong, extremely wrong. I understand. Why would you deny him access? But I said in one of my videos, I said, when two elephants are fighting, the grass suffers. And we don't see the problem that we are causing on this children, because when we fight, the child is the one who is suffering, because that child also deserves to have a relationship with his father or with her father. So let's just try by all means to give those fathers access. Let's try to reach a common ground, so that we can be just to eliminate problems, because now we don't do justice to this child.
Do you think that we don't understand the concept of co-parenting? Because I remember I had a guest here who is co-parenting with the ex-boyfriend's wife, current wife, and they are a house on fire. So a lot of people on their comment section always say it's fake, it's a lie. We need the story of the guy. We need the story of the guy. Why are we so toxic about having a healthy co-parenting style as Africans? And we hold on to what happened when the child was born or after. Why do you think we have such failed parenting structures?
And it's very important to co-parent, and especially if you have a partner, so that women are so protective about their kids. A woman won't allow their child to go to your house, whereas we have a partner.
That's true.
Because now they're thinking, how are you going to treat my child? We don't know what did this man say about this woman, and maybe that child does not like kids, and they won't be able to treat my child the way I treat them. So women are very protective when it comes to that. They are very protective about their kids. And when you see a woman being able to let go of the child, so that side also can be able to be taken care of and to be parented, it's a wonderful thing. Now, the reason why people are saying that is because People are just thinking about the issues. You know, we addressing the issues a lot. That no, it's fake. You know, no, it's not thief. It's not fake. It's just that when you are living in the realm of insecurities, you see, and you think that now that people have separated, they shouldn't get along. It doesn't work like that. There are people who separate and then they get along so well, and sometimes they even become friends. And if a woman see that I can trust this woman and I can see that she is genuine, I'm able, and even when the child comes back from that house, the child gives a good report, then this woman can be able to soften up and they work together, you know, to raise the child. And the first thing is to think about the child. But so I think those people, they are just living in the realm of problems, the realm of toxicity, you know. So I think that's why they are prone to the co-parenting being not a good thing. So I think they just need to a transformation of their mind to say that what is it that we want to achieve and what is it that we want our child to achieve. So I think they are just living in the realm of insecurities. That's why.
Is healthy parenting, can healthy parenting work within the Black society?
Yes, and it does work. It does work. I have seen it so many times. Let me tell you, my sister, she's in Northern Cape, and the ex-boyfriend is in Potchefstroom. So every time during holidays, the guy comes and he picks up, you know, my nephew, and they do communicate, you know. The relationship is healthy, you know, and even my nephew would call me with a video call when he's with his father, and you know, it's a healthy environment. Because right now I don't like the guy much, but I don't have, you know, anything with him.
Hard feelings.
Yeah, you see, no hard feelings. I can sit down with him and have a conversation. And yeah, and I understand that that boy needs his father, you know. So that's why there's a healthy relationship. It's co-parenting. They know that, you know, and also we are helping my sister by being, you know, by being frank with him. And that's why my nephew is able to call me with a video call when he's with his father. And then we just have a conversation, we laugh and so forth. So co-parenting to exist. It's just that people are just want to be mean to each other, but not realizing that really they are not doing justice to the children.
So, what is intentional parenting to you? A modern day intentional parenting?
You mean with the fact that you starting to have kids, or you
Yes.
have kids, you starting to have kids.
Yes.
So intentional parenting is looking at the future first. What is it that you want? What type of school you want your kids to go to? What kind of society and community you want the child to grow? Because other environments are not conducive for the child to grow.
That's true.
What type of things that you want your child to be exposed to, you know. So after you have established all those things, then you look at, are we able to do that? Do we have the budget for that? And how long can we sustain this? You see, and will we be able to do that? Because now when the child comes, there are so many things that you need to
That's
take care
true.
of. The child can be well now, and at night now he changes.
That's true.
You know, you need to call the ER or take him to the hospital to be checked. That's, you know, they have those changes as well. So you need to look at those things. Hence, you see, especially most of the professionals or the people who are, you know, today, they don't have kids up until certain age.
That's true.
And also they decide, listen, let's not have a child unless we are married. Because also it has an impact on the child, because you want to make sure that the person that you're going to be involved with is here, to stay. We are not saying if you are not married, you won't run away, but at least we have a security that this person is staying with me in the house, and we are doing everything together. So intentional parenting, meaning that you look at the future first before you do. I wrote about it in my book. I said, before before you buy a car, you look at the insurance first, how much it might be. If you do have a car, if you do have a garage, where are you going to park your car? So why can't we do the same with kids? Why can't you, before you bring their child on earth, you have at least varsity fees and so forth? You understand? So that's intentional parenting, and it's very important that there are talks like intentional parenting, so that people can be able to be wise when making some decisions.
I just want to go back before we continue. You said your father, when he saw the condoms in the drawer, he grabbed you. Prior to that, did he have a conversation with you about sex and the dangers of sex, or both your parents?
Never. They never did. When we were growing up, parents will just reprimand you when you do something wrong, which is for me, it's unfair. If I do something wrong, you reprimand me so much, but you have never taught me about those things. You see, if you don't teach me that, listen, you don't put your hand here when the stove is on, you're going to burn. But when I put my hand there, then you want to beat me up. It's totally unfair, because you never taught me about that. So the condoms are in there. I don't know also what do people are using those things for. And you want to reprimand me about bringing condoms in the room. So you have never told me anything about condoms. You never spoke to me about sex. I don't know anything about sex because I was still young. I was not even active. But you want to have a problem with me. You see, so we never had that conversation about sex.
So do you think him grabbing you is also a self-blame, is a lack? He feels like it's a failure on his behalf because now he's acting out of character, whereas he did not do the most important one, which is imparting knowledge, teaching, and you would have to, if you decide to go on with the action, it's up to you. But he did not do the most important action, which is to teach you and inform you about the act.
Well, I think for him it was just to intimidate me because he was no longer he was always not around. So he was just intimidating me that if you do this, because he was always away, about 220 kilometers away from us. I could do anything at any time. So he just thought, let me just, intimidate him to show him that if you do this, then, we're going to have a serious problem. So that I don't give my mom, trouble. But I think it was just intimidation. He was not blaming himself because, it was just intimidation.
I'm saying this because the structure of this is because most parents, they do the reaction instead of doing the actual work of imparting. For example, the problem of teenage pregnancy, it comes from the lack of teaching children what happens when you have a child, what is the right age to have children. We now react to, oh my God, 14-year-olds are having children. Whereas we did not start the conversation earlier on. I remember my mom is late now. She passed on 2020. My child was 9 years old. But I was already speaking to her about it, like the dangers of being around males, rape, what happens with rape, and you must watch yourself. And my mom was always very angry that, why am I dropping hints so early? So that by the time she's 12, it was easier to have the conversation. She's now 13. She knows what happens. So why do you think, as Africans, we we lack that information, or we leave it away at an early age because we feel like siyabathuma. Ngiyakuthuma mengikutshela ukuthi don't do this. Uskayetsa so.
Yeah, and it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's wrong because each and every household, at least from 5 households, 4 of them, they have rape victims.
Wow.
And if you don't teach kids at a young age that no one should touch this part, no one should do this to you, Pomalome, they raping them. And Pokazene, they raping them, and they don't know because we never taught them. You see. So you just realize that, but this child has been raped, has been sexually molested, which is very wrong. I think in our cultures, we think that we were actually thinking that the things that, things like your private parts, raping, sex, they are only for parents. We are not, supposed to be knowing about those things.
It's sacred.
Yeah, it's sacred, which is wrong. That's why in our cultures they will tell you that if you are a girl, you're not supposed to eat kidneys. You're not supposed to eat eggs at a certain age. But those things are just proteins, and they make you fertile. And but there was no explanation that no, you know what? We don't want you to be, the reason why we are saying that you shouldn't be eating eggs and other stuff, it's because they will make you to be more fertile and once it happens so that you get into a sexual intercourse, you might catch while you are still young. So I think there was no education around them, not wanting us to be exposed in those spaces. And it's very wrong not to educate us. And the reason why they don't educate us is because, we perish because of lack of knowledge.
That's true.
So the fact that they did not teach us, they think they were saving us from it, from that. But if you don't teach a child about sex, you are actually exposing them to sex. Because if you teach them about sex, they will be able to think that, no, but this thing is not actually good for me while I'm still young. You see. And they will be able to identify when one of the family members or someone is touching them inappropriately. So, they will be able to speak out. But because they don't know, if someone sexually molests them, they won't say anything because you never said this is not supposed to be happening to you.
So I want to know, where does the rape culture come from, according to you? Is it psychological? Is it men being entitled to women's bodies? Or it's something else?
The rape, people are entitled. They feel entitled to
Even
women's
to
body.
bodies of 9-year-olds.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's pure stupidity. Because I don't understand why would you rape someone who is less than 10 years while you are 30, what got into your mind for you to do such, it's purely stupidity. And up until today, I don't understand that kind of act. When a grown-up man will go around and rape kids. But not only raping kids. The guy who was now caught who raped 2 nurses in Limpopo, apparently this guy has been doing it. He would just identify a house that is having 1 woman. He knows that, you are staying alone there, and he will go there and rape you. And he would do it. I fail to understand why. Is there spirits behind it? Because if you have a sober mind and sound mind, you wouldn't go around and do such, but I think it's purely stupidity. It's also lack of self-control, but we need to teach these kids. We need to teach boys. I had I was fortunate also to, when I was growing up, there was a time I spoke to my pastor. I said, hey, this is what is happening to me, and I said, is it lust or what? He said, no, it's not lust. It just shows that your body is growing. So when your body is growing, other parts are reacting and so forth. You understand? Your chest will grow bigger and so I think also we need that education so that we don't have the stupid acts that are acts that men are doing, so that they can also be self-aware that the fact that now you have erection, you must go and go and molest people. You need to have what we call self-control.
You're reminding me of something. There's a very high, and it's secretive. It's kept private. There's a very high number of young men who are addicted to pornography and masturbation, and I've seen also in my church. I've seen a lot of the pastor dealing with such cases. It's such a secretive issue, but it's getting out of hand because it gives birth to rape. Most of them started that way. Do you think it's a side effect of a lack of parenting or a lack of education?
It's painful that in this day and age, we don't raise our kids. We give them a cell phone, a tablet, we give them a television. We don't instill any principle to them. We give them unlimited data, unkept, and they start to look at. That's why they believe in so many things. They just grab any culture. You must go to a Muslim community. Immediately when you come on earth, no negotiation, you are a Muslim. But now with our kids, they migrate to other cultures. They call themselves Abdul, Ibrahim. They change from their cultures, and we think it's okay. We think they have a choice to do that. So there is a lack of parenting there. So we just give them cell phones and stuff. The next day they have pierced themselves here and there, and they have tattoos all over their bodies. It's because you never instilled some principles and while they are still young. I'm not talking about when they are adults, right? Some things, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. If they want to do them, it's okay, provided that they are adults and they do have they are responsible for that. But young kids, we just give them, I was talking to my friend on the phone the other time, and I said to him, Chief, I've realized that every time when I'm on the phone with you, you need to have an argument with your son. And he said, yeah, hey, this boy. And then I said, that boy is gauging you. He is gauging you because the thing is, you are not really spending time with him alone and instilling some principles and challenging him. So it's lack of parenting. They will tell you that, no, now I'm an atheist. I don't believe that God exists. Where do they get them? It's because of. And when you are you are this Christian who's serving a church, you are a pastor, and this kid is telling you, he's 12 years or 13, is telling you that he is an atheist. Where is it coming from? So let's just look at Islamic community and our community. And let's see, why are these ones holding on to their own religion and their own beliefs and their own rules, but this one they are not? It's lack of parenting. We don't want to parent our kids, but we think that buying them 18,000, the PlayStation that costs 18,000 is to make them happy, and give them the cell phone so that they can learn the cultures from other people who are out there who you don't even know what they are doing in secret. So it's lack of parenting. People should be able to parent their own kids and stop giving them gadgets.
So how would one measure that their parenting is working or that they need help? Because I know that Africans find it hard to source out help, particularly this we are speaking of. When a child gets to a certain age, and you fail to inform them of boyfriends, sexual behaviors, and overall dangers, you source out help from psychologists, family friends, and so on and so forth. So, do you think there's a measure of how good a person's parenting is, and when is the right time to source out help from people like you, your organization?
So, firstly, you need to know what kind of a person you want to raise. Yeah. So if you think hore, you want to raise a child who, by the time he comes from school, he puts his school bag there, his shoes and stuff, and then he start by doing his homework, polishing his shoes, and then after that he will ask you to, watch the television. After they eat, they clean their the cutlery, and if you know that that's the kind of person you want to raise, and you measure that daily, that this person is listening to what I'm saying, and I have built a routine for him, and this is how he is, grabbing the routine, because I will tell you, he will also get influences from his peers from school. They will tell them that, nah, don't do this. We have a nanny at home. I don't do this. Now when I go to the shop, my mom gives me a credit card, and but if you are able to raise someone who is prone to, who is able to know that we don't do that at home, that's what you are doing at home, at your own house, then you know that you can measure that, okay, I'm doing something right here. But now when you start to see that your voice is not heard, when you start to see that the behavior is different, when you start to see that they take what others are practicing in their own houses, and they want to do it, and they want to tell you that this is what they are doing. When they start to get angry when you tell them that you don't have money to take them out, then that's when you should know that you need assistance. When you notice that all of a sudden they become quiet, and they are not talking about things, there is absolutely something wrong that is happening to this child. It might be bullying, it might be some actions that have been taken to them by other kids, and or there might be some things that actually it's troubling their minds. So you need help. Yeah. So you need to observe your child, and even before, don't take your child to a therapy or to us only when they have problems, or when they're showing you flames. Take them even before, so that they can be able to get that environment of counseling, so that we can be able to see if there is something wrong, but he is hiding, and just engaging with them, and also so that we can be able to teach them even before they encounter problems, so that when they encounter problems, they can be able to know how to deal with them.
Wow. You're the third guest that is telling me this. So you're saying it is healthy to source out help even when it's good, even when there's nothing, just for the sake of starting a conversation with the child.
Yeah, definitely. Go for a checkup, not because you are sick. Yeah, because you want to see if you're still healthy. If you want to see if, do you need a vitamin B? Do you need, vitamin C in your body? Or identify something while it's still starting. It's in early stages. Yeah. So that's what I'm actually referring to. Let's sit down with them. Let's see their behaviors. Let's see if there's something that is influencing them. There was this other, and I'll tell you now. Sometimes they hide. These kids are so good. Sometimes they hide things. So this other girl, she started smoking, and when she started smoking, and now she's telling this other one that, you know what happened? So my mom took my skirts and she was washing my uniform, and I forgot the cigarette in skirt. And as the machine was rounding, the cigarette came out, because my mom did not realize that in my pocket there is something. I think she did not, she omitted to search the skirt. And when she realized that the mom sees the cigarette, she actually blamed the nanny that, oh, hey, you see this nanny, now the girl is counteracting. You know, you see this nanny for, you know, I see cigarettes, the nanny is the nanny, you know. And the mom did not actually think about it because she doesn't think that the child will smoke. So she kept it for a very long time while she was smoking without the parents knowing. So hence we say that just bring them to us and you'll be able to discover so many things that you don't know. Even before you see problems or troubles, or you realize that there might be something that is happening there. Yeah, just you know, bring them and we will tell you stories.
Wow. So as much as there's toxic masculinity, do you think that there's also toxic femininity where women overdo their femininity into oppress society?
Remember that in the olden days, women were just housewives, you know. You would stay home, I would go and work. And I'm the one who has financial muscles. I have financial powers and you don't. Now, I go into spaces that you cannot go to. The only thing that you know is to excel when you clean the house or when you cook. Those are the only things that you could do. Now, women became independent as well. They studied, they occupied positions that men used to occupy, you know. Then when it comes to that, now they feel empowered. You know, if for example, if you do not have financial muscles and all of a sudden you are able to have 20,000 now in your hands, oh my goodness, your attitude changes, you know. All of a sudden you become impatient. You don't want to be queuing. You see, all of a sudden you want to see the manager because you have been queuing here for 15 minutes. So it does have an impact, that femininity. It does an impact because now you are being empowered. And the reason why people would say men have egos, no, it's because they've been having power all along. You know, that power gives them the right to be egocentric. And when you are a woman, you have been given that the same power. Now you become, you know, powerful as well. You want to show that I can also put my foot down. And also now women put pressure that, look, I can also achieve this, I can also do this. And this is how I want things to be done. And others are just, you know, others are just behaving out of their old experiences. You are used to be shouted at by your partner. Now that you are with me, I don't shout. You know, you are pushing me to shout, and you think that I'm not a man enough if I don't shout you. But you did not realize that that was actually an abuse. You are being abused. So those things plays a major role. You know, they play a major role, even though you mean well, but you don't realize that those things have affected you so much in such a way that you don't realize, or you don't see that those things have actually tilted or changed your character.
But do you think that as much as we are preparing the girl child, the empowered women, are we doing the same job? Are we doing enough work to prepare men for the empowered modern day women?
No, I don't think we're doing enough. I was talking to my friend, and I said to him, I said, Chief, have you seen this boy? Who's this guy? Beast. Beast is playing rugby. He was playing rugby actually he was playing for Springbok. And I said, I saw Beast's house. He built his house. And I said, you know, his daughter's bedroom, I'm sure it's bigger than your house, and it's so beautiful. And I said, imagine when as a guy, you are raising a boy, and you used to go to your KFC and Spare, and you would actually spend 300 max, 300 rands, when you're taking your son and your wife there. But she used to go to other restaurants, and the cheapest bill that her father ever paid was about 1,500. The the car, the cheapest car that she has ever been into, it's his father's bakkie, which is the double cab of 800,000. And when the cheapest car that your son has ever been is the car that you are driving right now, And yes, you are teaching your kid now to wash his clothes and wash his socks and stuff. But this one, the daughter, his daughter, they have a nanny, they have an auntie at home. So she's not doing all that. Now, she meets your son. The son sees her as being lazy. But the daughter sees your son as being broke because his affordability and he's thinking, no, I can't, spend more than 400 when I take a girl out. But she's not used to that. She's used to 2,000 rands, at least 2,000 rands a bill. And also the level of her thinking. Already, his father is meeting ministers and, and when are you just meeting people from your next door? And already, this boy is not trained well enough for this independent girl. So this girl already, his father has established a business for her. Maybe she's selling name tags at school. Already she's entrepreneurial, you see. So when you bring both together and they are coming to date, you can see that there is imbalance there.
That's true.
You understand? So I don't think men and boys are being trained enough to get to this independent women because, and I will tell you why. My ex, I had a partner, and I realized that, my ex is here, and I'm here in terms of getting used to financial freedom because he's already used to having at least 1.5 million in her account. I only know 250,000 in my bank account. You understand? So those dynamics. So this woman was already powerful, and I was not in her level. And I don't think we are being trained enough, and boys are being trained enough to be able to handle this independent women.
What you're saying is making me think. I don't think it's only in relationships. I think parents, we are lacking to expose our children to success. It is a lack of training our children for success because then it becomes easier to meet people of that caliber when you've been trained for success. Yes.
Other schools, right? When you take your kids to other private schools, let's just talk about other private schools. Already, they have a connection overseas, and whatever they're talking about, it's international trade and stuff. And because now this one is, his parents did not expose them. He's not exposed to that level. He just want to go to school, finish, and then go and look for a job. But this one, he's looking at, he wants to be Elon Musk's competitor. He's looking at, I want to create something that is exactly as Facebook, but I want to use one of our languages here in South Africa so that we can be able to relate with. So already the mindset is different. You just want to get 15,000 per month because you are not exposed. This one is thinking billions. So also you are absolutely correct when you talk about exposure. Our parents, maybe our parents did not expose us because they were not exposed as well. There is a certain level where they can operate.
Yes, true.
If you don't know, you won't. And also, it's the same as handling problems. You can only handle your problem according to the level of your knowledge. We can have the same problem, but we are not going to respond and react to the same problem the same way. So it's the same as you are not exposed as a parent. This one is more exposed than you. Then your kids will be shown by how your kids respond to the market. So it's the issue of exposure as well.
Yes, true. So I just want to know, does culture play a role in the upbringing of children, our culture and our traditions, and does it still work? Can we raise our kids the way that our grandparents were raised, and can we take points from there?
Yeah, definitely. I think what we need to do is, firstly, we need to remember that these kids are very inquisitive. They will ask you a lot of questions. Culture, yes, do play a role, but then now we don't need to let culture to imprison us. Let's look at taking our kids to the mountain. How many kids are dying yearly there? So why do we still follow that culture if you're going to take your kids and then all of a sudden you lost your child? Why do we imprison ourselves using culture, right? There are some things some lessons that we can take from our great grandparents, but let's not let culture imprison us. I remember there was a time I asked my aunt. She's so there were, when I went home, there were people that I knew that they were having funerals. So there were two funerals. The other one was at 9, at 7 in the morning, and then the other one was at 12. So I attended both funerals. And then she said, no, you are not supposed to be attending 2 funerals because you can't go twice to the graveyard. And I asked her this question. When I used to work at the funeral parlor, we would go 5 times in a day. Because we have 5 funerals to service. So what's the difference? And she couldn't answer me. So let's not let culture to imprison us, but let's just take some lessons from it and also know when you do something, why are you doing it? So yes, we can take some lessons, but let us not let culture imprison us in raising our kids.
Okay. Do you believe in corporal punishment? Rapangwan.
Well, it depends. It depends. I think now you need to draw a line as a parent. If your child, you have a way of disciplining your child, right? And they can still hear, then it's okay, right? If you have a way of punishing them, it's still okay. But there comes a time, I remember Pastor Ed said that, his child was so problematic, and what happened is he had to discipline him now. He hit him on the chest, just to show him that now you are crossing the line. And now he was just showing him that you are crossing the line, and I'm going to be very ugly with you. And then he came to his senses. Now, like I said, especially a boy child, it's difficult to raise a boy child. They will want to gauge you. We are physical beings. You understand? So if let's say Mpo will poke you, you guys will have a long conversation and you will shout at each other. If I get poked by a man, we are not going to have a conversation. We are going to use a very different method to solve, So It depends on how you do it. You can pretend to hit the child. You know, a girl, you can just take a slipper and say and pretend like you are hitting, and then they will cry. That's how. And you can do that. I think, and I don't want people to misinterpret me. We're not talking about abusing kids, but even the Bible says you spare the rod, you spoil the child. You see, so yeah, I strongly believe that if there comes a point whereby you need to take some actions when it comes to disciplining your child, then do so.
But you know that there's a level where you cannot beat a 16-year-old, a 14, 15-year-old. It becomes very difficult to beat a child that is almost your height.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree with you. I agree with you. You mean as a woman?
Yes, even as a man.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, it's you are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. But I think with me it will be difficult. As small as my body is, I take classes, eh? I'm a cage fighter. I make sure that it's very important. But with me, I'm just saying it will be very difficult to do that, because when you get trained, also you get trained to deal with someone who you look at, you think this person is a wall. So yeah, I agree with you. It will be difficult, but at that age, you should have trained your child to be able to know that, listen, this is wrong, this is right, and I'm not going to be telling you that this is wrong, this is right. You should be able to make decisions, and you should know that this is my house, my rules here. You see, so if you want us to get along, this is how we're going to deal with things in this house. And that's why you see other people when a child. Do you know why white people don't have problems? It's because at 18 they don't want to deal with that. They tell you leave, go. Because a man or a boy and a child, they assume the responsibility of a man. So now they're thinking, I'm also a man in this house, right? So that's why it's very difficult when a boy is over 18 years and he's still staying with you. They just want to do as they please, because they assume that the responsibility of being a man. So that's why we have these issues that other people don't have. You have a child and they are that, and for them the clock is telling them that I'm a man also.
Why do you think us blacks, it's very difficult to let our children fly, especially at that age? They're going to university. Let them fly, even if they don't come back after he graduates. Why is it so difficult to let them go? Like, go, noma ungahamba, ungasabuyi, uyozirentela. Why do we feel like, hey, we am spoiler? Uzoyenza into zakhe lapho? Because I remember a friend of my mom was asking my mom, Ziyanda is over, she's over age. Why doesn't she move out? And she went mad. I think I was 23 then.
Yeah.
And she was like, never.
No, no, we do that. I mean, we have my younger sister, I think she's 23 this year, and we're still treating her like she's 2 years, because I think also in our culture, remember that we used to be united and together. You would sleep on the floor, all of you. It's just a lot of kids, and we will grow together, and you will see your child growing together, your children growing together. And also as a parent, your child will grow, and after growing, they would still be with you, whether you train them to run your businesses, but they will still be here. That's what we used to as black people. We are used to that. So it's very difficult to let go of a child, especially when they are on that age. You only let go when you see them, they have their own, they are now ready to get married. That's why even when getting married, other parents, especially mothers, it's so difficult to let go of their boy child and say you are getting married, you're having kids, and they still attached. You know, I think for us it's the issue of attachment to their family.
Wow. So, why do you think black, especially males, we find it so hard to have conversational talks with our children? We use confrontation. Like, I'm referring to the altercation that happened between you and your father. Instead of being conversational and telling me and saying to you, maybe, tell me more, what do you know about this? He became confrontational. Yes. Why do you think we so much lean on confronting, even when there's problems? You see your child standing with a guy and you become confrontational instead of educating the child and being conversational. That I don't think you are ready for that, and this is the reason why.
Is the lack of education, and when I'm talking about education, I'm not talking about school. We don't educate our kids enough to say, listen, this is what needs to happen. The rules of the house are this. There was this other lady went for an interview, and he was interviewed by one of the guys that I know, who's white, and he asked this lady, have you been into are you coming from a disadvantaged background? She said, no, I'm not coming from a disadvantaged background because my dad and my mom, you know, they paid for my schools. They took me to varsity. You know, I did not get a bursary. So, yeah, I'm not coming from a disadvantaged background. And he said, okay, have your father ever sat with you on the table and discussed the issues of money and taught you about money, you know, financial education? She said, no. And then he said, now you are coming from a disadvantaged background because we don't sit down and teach our kids about stuff. So it's a disadvantage. So I don't know whether was it the issue of we are just used to reprimanding kids without teaching them. We don't want them to know about other stuff. And we think that kids will never find out. You know, I'm reprimanding you about having condoms, but there is an institution that is teaching about sex at school. So when when I'm bringing condoms in the house, you want to reprimand me instead of you asking me, what have you learned? Why I bring these things? Who gave you this? What have you learned about that? You know, it's because they become so sensitive. We don't want kids to know about sex, you know. And I strongly believe that also my dad was not doing justice to us because he started doing these things at a very tender age, you know. And the way he was doing it, even that time, it was wrong because he was just planting seeds around. So that's why I'm thinking he was supposed to actually train and say, listen, this is what you should do and this is not what you are not supposed to be doing. So I think they become sensitive to talk about these things. They become ashamed to talk about these things and to educate us. But the thing is, they don't do justice to us because we perish because of lack of knowledge.
So there probably is a young parent that is watching us now and who wants to start the conversation. Probably their child is 10, towards teenage. How do you think they can break the wall of communication and start communication? Because I believe it's not only sex, condoms, but the dangers of life, friends, how to treat yourself, hygiene, confidence, managing your money, managing your life, managing your time. How can they start communication with their children?
So I think you need to build the safe space for you to have a conversation with your child.
Wow.
So don't just be a mother who is mothering inside the house, but take them to places. If it's a daughter, take her to places. Go and hike with them, you know. And as you hike, You ask them questions, just random questions about nature, about whatever, and let them ask questions and observe how do they think. There will be other people who will be, hiking there, let them have fun. Take them somewhere else. And after you have done that, you create stories according to your experiences and other people's experiences. And then you just take one person and say, listen, this is a lady who was kidnapped by someone. They met online, and this guy had an ulterior motive. And then this girl thought that they are falling in love, but then she was abducted, and this were the results. So be careful. Internet is so evil, is so cruel. Don't do it. Don't think that getting a boyfriend through internet is cool. It's not. Don't even think about it. And you show them a series of, events. You just do your research as a parent. You move to the next topic. You engage them. You don't only talk and tell them, but you engage them. Let them engage with you. Let them ask questions so that you can also see what are they thinking about, you see. So I remember Tshepo Masego said he was driving and the daughter is sitting behind his seat, and she sees the word abortion, safe abortion on the pole there. And she said, Daddy, what is abortion? And she's thinking, when you play netball, because I think the daughter was playing netball. So when you move from one point to another and then you run, and then the teacher says, abort, and then you must stop. That's what abortion is. But he could hear and sense the reaction that no, already she knows what abortion is. So, and then he said, there is another form of abortion. So he had to explain, because now he realized that, okay, she's ahead. She understands what is written on that pole. And she's not actually referring to the abortion, because him giving her that answer or response, he was trying to save her, not to think of that kind of abortion. Yeah. He was trying to not to expose her in that time, but already she knew. And he had to explain that, okay, this is another now type of abortion and stuff. So I think as you talk to your kids, engage them as well. Ask them questions with a smile on your face and tell them, no, I know that just playing. I know that play some games, and by that you're creating a safe space. Don't have a serious conversation with them because they won't disclose, and you won't know how much do they know. You see, and you won't be able to show them the dangers of those things. But if you do create a safe space first, then you will be able to help them and show them the dangers of what is happening in the society.
Oh, this was educational. So do you think that it is important, or I don't know how to put this, to carve out the destiny of our children? I know that there's a lot of parents who have dreams for their children to live a certain life, to marry, to have kids. And with the rise of social media, there's kids who have planned that I'll not have kids, I'll not marry. How can we impart the knowledge of the things that we want our children to carry over without fighting or trying to push our mindsets into their life?
We can impart, and sometimes we are unable to impart because imagine you're taking a child to school, an expensive school for that matter. You're paying 100,000, over 100,000 per annum, and you're thinking he must be a doctor, she must be an attorney, a lawyer. and then she's telling you that, no, I want to be a DJ when she's done. You know, or he wants to sell sneakers, he wants to sell perfumes, you know. We can impart, but not anymore, not that much, you know, because there are so many options these days. A career is not only a professional career that you go to school for. You know, podcasting can be one. There are so many things, but the only thing that you can do is to support them and instill principles. And also, what you can do as a parent is make sure that they get education so that at least they can have something to fall back on. And also, you need to have an open mind as a parent, knowing that he might not want to do this, he might want to take his own way, but then at least I have played my part. You know, so yeah, I think we can impart those things, but also we must have a limit, because if they said, I don't want to have kids, it's their choice these days. You know, if they don't want kids, they are not going to have kids, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So yeah, but I'm just saying principles, education, and then you have an open mind. You become open-minded, and you just support them.
Oh. Just before we wrap up, can you probably advise or speak to parents who feel like they have failed with everything that we have discussed? They are reflecting and they see that they have not taken accountability, they have not taught their children, and they feel like they have failed to play their role, both men and women. What would you say to them going onwards, to the parent of an adult who they don't have an open relationship, a good relationship, and to the parent who wants to start the conversations with their children, particularly toddlers and going to teens?
Well, it might not be too late to do that. It might not be too late, but you need to be intentional about it. And you know, we all make mistakes, and there is a room for us to rectify those mistakes. And when we get a chance to rectify mistakes, let's do them intentionally. And yeah, and those who would like to start the conversation, help their kids and their toddlers, firstly check your behavior, because those kids, they learn from what they see. You know, they learn from what they say or what they hear. So just make sure that what you are saying and what you do in front of them is exactly what you want them to become. Because you might be talking to them, but they might be doing what you did, because you might be doing something opposite than what you said to them. So your actions are very important to the child. So just fix your actions first. If you don't want them to drink alcohol, don't just tell them to not to drink alcohol, but make sure, do it. Just make sure that you don't drink alcohol in front of them. Just make sure that they don't see you being intoxicated, you know. But yeah, I think actions are very important if you want to teach your child.
Wow. So lastly, before we close, to the women who want to change their minds, the mindsets of their their male children, on the importance of manhood, what would you say to them? Because I'm sure there's someone who's saying, I'm hearing what you are saying, but I would like my child to be exactly as you are saying, to understand the reality of manhood. What would you say to them?
Firstly, buy my book. This is the book, The Reality of Manhood, The New Paradigm. And the reason why The subtitle is The New Paradigm, is because we define manhood not only according to the society. So we have a new paradigm of what manhood is. So we need you just get this book. And what we do with the proceeds of this book is that we buy school uniforms for kids who are vulnerable, who don't afford. Right now we do have a campaign of dress up a child. We have 250 kids that we're going to buy school uniforms and shoes, and the next month it will be my birth month. We will be moving to other townships and so forth. So firstly, get this book, and then it will be able to help them and help you as a parent as well, to know the mindset of a man, and also to help them and to teach them on how to be good men, And the other thing is, if you are able to get a father figure in their lives. It can be your uncle, it can be your cousin, it can be your neighbor, but a person that you see that this person is a man of integrity. Please let them mentor your child, because men and boys need mentorship. And it's very so as a woman, please note that all the mothers are doing well. They are doing their best. But a male person needs also that father figure touch in their lives. So yeah, I think those are the advices that I can give to a woman who wants to make sure that their boy child are raised well. Mentorship is very important for our boys.
Just before we finish, we never touched on the reality of how much the lack of fatherhood has an effect on the female child more than the male child. Like, how horrible are the effects of not having a father as a female child?
Very. A daughter or a female child does not have a male in his in her life. A father. Talking about now, father figure. Your father. The reason why you see an 18-year-old dating a 55-year-old is because she's just looking for a father. It's not like she wants to date older women, but she's looking for a father figure. She wants to fill that void. That's the effect that it has. And secondly, when you see a female dating multiple boys, or being disorderly, and boys are just coming in and out, it's because of there was no father. When we were growing, we used to see beautiful girls. And when we look at these beautiful girls, the fact that this girl, there's a father there, we wouldn't even come close to their yard. So there was that, dignity in the house. Just the fact that there's a father there, we wouldn't come close. We would respect that house. We would respect this lady. But those who did not have fathers, we will just go and hey, and we will just call you the way we want. Hey, we now, But this one, because there's a father, hey, no, it wasn't. So it has that effect of, people wouldn't respect you that much. They wouldn't take you serious. And also you would date older men because you're looking for the father figure.
Wow. So it's also psychological.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and also emotional. It's emotional because women also are emotional beings, and they need that nurturing. They need that father's touch. Yeah.
Lastly, just explain in 2 minutes provision and the meaning of indoda must. Yes.
So provision to who?
To women, to society.
Okay. So provision for me means attention as well. Firstly, it means attention. Because if you don't have, if there's no, even if you can send money to your woman and to your child, but if there's no attention, then it's not completely provision. That provision is not complete because you are not there, and we were made to stay ko gae, to be there, to be present in the house. And provision also means not only resources, but guidance. You need to be the leader. You need to be the head of the house and the leader in the community. And by the leader, I'm not talking about you being the counselor or so forth, but you need to know how to keep the community safe. You see, so that's what provision is in a nutshell. In a nutshell, you need to be present, and you need to instill good principles to the women and also to the community.
Does the term indoda must work in this society? Is it liable? And is it a must? Indoda must valley? Or we just saying it on social media?
No, we're just saying it there because in Doda must, if you are going to date someone who steals money, who's driving a V-Class and so, and you want to compare me with that person who is going to 9 to 5, who has a 9 to 5 and provide for my family, and I just survive. That's not the definition of a man is, because indoda must not, but there are certain qualities that a man needs to have, not according to what the social media and the society is telling. So this term indoda must is completely wrong, and I completely disagree with it, because if you say indoda must, you are talking about your needs. You are not talking about what manhood is.
Okay, in 1 minute, do you think that Black people, we have a failed parenting system?
No, I don't think we have a failed parenting system. Other people just fell into this thing called parenting without knowing what they are doing. Others were not taught. Others did not anticipate the challenges of parenting. I had a guy that I am mentoring right now. He's 54 years of age. He was from prison, and he told me that, listen, I don't know how to be a father. Please teach me how to be a father. I have 2 kids. Nobody taught me how to be a father. So it's not a failed parenting. It's just that some of them, they did not get guidance, and they thought they had a different perspective of parenting. But then they just, it's not a failed parenting. It's that we need to learn.
Wow. Oh my God, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for imparting your knowledge. I believe that somebody will learn something. In the last few seconds that we have, what would you like to say to parents and to men?
I would like to say to parents that please raise your kids. Discipline your kids. Yeah, discipline your kids, raise them, put your foot down. No one must be able to, no kid should be, telling you what to do or blackmailing you that if you don't do this, I will take my life and so forth. If you need help, please, we are here. Talk to people who can help you, who will be able to help you. And to all the men, please, let me talk to all the men. Please, we are tired of women being victimized. You need to man up and become real men in the society. Women are not sex objects. Let's stop this violence against women, and we do not have dominion over women.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Thapelo. Thapelo Seleke, property portfolio specialist, musician, author, speaker, and the president of Men Up Institution. I'll put his details on the description box. Thank you so much for joining us. Viewers, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned something from this. I'll see you in the next episode. My name is Ziyanda Sondlo.
Sense Studio.